they will be starting on attack. They've done so through every map in this series thus far, and because of that, ENCE will ban first.
And what will they go for against the attack? And yeah, not surprising, the glass will get removed. Oddly enough, both teams have been using the Dokkaebi to very good lengths.
Yeah, but Dokkaebi, of course, a very powerful operator. No matter whose hands you put them in. I mean, she is just kind of universally good. Very similar to Lion. Maverick going to be banned out there by a Vitality. Interesting ban.
It might be specific to Uno because watching ENCE's semifinal, especially against Train Hard, now Pact, or again playing this weekend again. He played a pretty mean Maverick, and even though the utility wasn't really the hot thing, the gun itself was a big deal. And yeah, not surprised at all by the final ban. Clash will be removed by ENCE.
Yeah, that's a sensible ban. You gotta admit, because Clash. If you really want to look at it on the last map, Clash was the reason that ENCE couldn't bring that to OT or even just finish it before it got to OT. If it weren't for Clash, we would have seen a different result. I gotta say, it's something that ENCE seriously struggled with, and now it's just gone. And that's what the ban phase is for. That is what they're for. So, Ventilation Workshop as the first defense for ENCE. That's a little bit different. You don't often see this. Well, I say that. That's a lie. You do see this. It's just less common than the Armory defense first.
Yeah, I usually start with the Armory, but both sites are your primary sites, basically. Yeah. It's just, you know, you can shuffle them, you can play however you want. Either way, what most teams will do is that if everything works on Armory, it'll just go down to Ventilation. Nothing really out of the ordinary here, except for the fact that ENCE are not bringing a castle for this normal style of defense. They're mostly going to be reinforcing the bathroom into the site from the back of the workshop, which is the big change, the big difference to what we see usually. And they're bringing a Mira, which means they're going to set up mostly upstairs, because Mira on the site downstairs isn't a big deal.
Yeah, Mira is very good on this map, but she's mostly good over by the Armory side, and it's a sensible setup from Chate and from ENCE as a whole. And this, of course, is going to be a delay strategy. Try to hold up your opponents for as long as possible on this top floor. Also, very sensible. We have seen this strategy employed many times on this bomb site, on this map. It's a common thing where, I mean, honestly, any of the bottom floor bomb sites, you defend from upstairs on border. It's a pretty common trend. In fact, this map was one of the
map basically, but specifically.
Yeah, border was one of the maps to start pioneering like that dedicated top floor hold to hold a bottom floor site, though. Like we of course we saw it on other maps, but infrequently until border came out and became so prominent in Pro League. That, of course, though, keep in mind, was that was back when nobody knew anything about how to play this game. All right, and now we've moved past that.
That was back when if you zoomed out on a map like Oregon or border, you would fry your eyes.
Yeah,
that was a while ago.
People didn't really know what they were up to. That's that Thatcher camera nerf really actually hurting Vitality there. You can see the Valkyrie camera inside a CCTV has been disabled for 15 seconds, but no destruction. Uno will eat some damage and finally be finished off by Brit. That's great coordination there for Vitality, taking down the Bandit, who was relatively safe if he had just stayed behind his reinforcements, but he did not. He got a little too aggressive, and he died because of it. Now ENCE at a disadvantage.
Gompy spots the drone, takes it out, falls back. Of course, there's already a shock wire on that Mira window, so Aprox will try to come in from the opposite end. They already have the spot on Gompy. Aprox is just going to wait in between, possibly finding an opponent, walking right into him. C4 thrown out, and bye-bye Aprox. Beautiful C4 from Chate, perfectly timed here as Bounty were not able to escape from it. But Zephyr spraying all the way down, tons of damage done to Boonsy, but not enough to clear him out. You already see the Jaeger has dropped down, but Chate unable to finish. Player in the back, he finds the headshot. Brille is down on the floor, and that is a huge kill on the zone. Face of the wall, Chate! Oh my God! Zephyr now down and out. Spark and Rafale are down. The last two in on the live for Vitality, but that has to hurt.
Yeah, that was, of course, a mark from his teammate, enabling him to get that kill. But all the same, great reactions from Shate. You've got one lit player on the defense, that's Boonsy. Gomfi has eaten some damage, but not enough to really matter in the long run. Woki gonna be playing the proximity to this thermite charge, and oh, it's gonna be rough, but he might be able to retain his position. Yes, he will. He lands the shots onto the thermite, but will die regardless. The MPX not doing very much damage. Rafael still on 75 HP. Boonsy lit up, so this is winnable for Vitality, but they've got so little time. Spark will take down Gomfi, but the plant has started, and Spark also takes down Shate, leaving just Boonsy. What happened there as Boonsy gets the kill onto Rafael? No! The denial on 0-0-0. It doesn't matter how great your comeback is. If you can't plant the diffuser, it's all over. Excellent comeback in the final dying seconds of the round for ENCE.
Vitality had it early on. Then Shate happened.
I mean,
then they bring it back.
An excellent.
Then Boonsy happened.
Yes.
That was beautiful. Unfortunately there, because of the lack of time, the Thatcher wasn't able to put himself in a better position in the workshop to deal with the smoke. Now, if you saw there, he had actually spotted the smoke rotating in.
Attackers need to locate
AD has to try and take the fight, but by that time, Boonsy had already done the damage. Again, 0-0. All that matters is that one kill, and that's everything done.
Yes, indeed. So, ENCE very, very narrowly establishing an early lead here on Border. Hard-fought victory there on the first round, though. And they will be going to Armory defense next. Yeah, which makes a lot of sense. Of course, the two standard sites on Border, as you all, I'm sure, know. Uno,
5 seconds left.
playing on Bandit. He's been doing a lot of work as Bandit so far today. Hasn't been fragging out as much as I think is expected of him. Of course, what are you going to do in such a pitched battle as this? Mirror window setup pretty standard here. Going to be able to get some good visuals onto the main hallway. As anyone attempts to push into the office, though, it looks like Vitality is keen to clear from CCTV into the Armory wall, which is the more standard attack strategy, all things considered. Office also happens, but again, less common.
Hook's just setting up his drone for later on, just in case there's someone coming in from the opposite end. Of course, you can use both drones at the same time. You know, you don't have to destroy one and then use the second one, like back in the day. Thankfully, that was one, actually, in my opinion, one of the biggest changes in the game, and I'm so happy that it was done when it was. Zephyr again on the drone. He's going to walk in through the east stairs. Of course, the default cameras will get shot down, and that's pretty standard so far. But what's not standard is Wilkie going down. The clear CCTV is much easier than what you think. And of course, damage done to Spark because of the fact that Wilkie got a bit aggressive on the mute. But there's a mirror window that's set up from the Armory wall.
Uno eating a lot of damage from that Ash charge, and the denial will happen regardless. Great bandit tricking, really forcing it there. That was ballsy. If Ash had been watching through the hole, we would have seen a dead Uno. But one exothermic dealt with. Prox also unable to deal with the mirror window so far. Rafael going in for the second, and this time the Ash is watching, but Gomfi will kill him. Prox goes down, and that might be successful. Bandit trick for Uno. He does indeed get the battery down, but Rafael did not plant it. He's held on to his exothermic charge, knowing that there is no longer denial from below. Braid will rotate in to solve that problem, which means that ENCE is going to be forced off this wall inevitably. Hopefully ENCE, though, reads into it and doesn't sacrifice Uno, but Gomfi with the second one. That's 2 in a row for him, denying the denial of the bandit tricking. Zephyr will take down Uno, though, so no more bandit, which means the exothermic charge will go off. Shate, Balls of Steel, will hold on to his mirror window and get the shot onto Zephyr! And Rafael, a double for the mirror, and he goes for a third, but cannot land it. Spark left on 1 HP, and he will die to literally anything. It's gonna be the gas canister from Boonsy, and ENCE take the round.
Beautiful play there from Shate, finding every angle, using the mirror window to his advantage. And of course, it's not always that you see the mirror window set up on the armory wall, and there's a good reason for that. Because it's so easy to deal with from below. Well, unfortunately, nobody really calculated the fact that Gomfi was there, and he was going to get kills off of it because it just gets the first one through the hole, and then the second one, as he rotates away, jumps out of jail and gets a freebie on it. And I'm not sure if that hole in jail was opened up by the attackers, because obviously he can't open it himself. But if it was, brilliant use of really any tactical positioning that he's offered there. That's absolutely fantastic play from Gomfi. And ENCE looking pretty here, going to supply and customs. Alrighty. That's the odd one. CCTV hold is very complicated.
It is indeed, but luckily for ENCE, Mira is still in play, which means holding CCTV, not impossible, just difficult. There is no Twitch being brought by Vitality, which is curious. Usually you would see a Twitch if Mira's in play, especially on a map like Border. This is where she is the most prominent, and just curious operation selection. Regardless, I'm sure they'll be able to make it work, though they will have to clear, very likely, onto CCTV, depending on the setup from ENCE. This is interesting. They're actually putting a mirror window downstairs. And, you know, this mirror window makes sense to an extent. Very common push is through Passport, which is the room on the adjacent side to that mirror window. But I don't know. Not adjacent, just adjacent. But ENCE's setup overall is a little bit confusing. They have the castle, but they're putting a lot more emphasis horizontally than normal. They have the vertical, but they also aren't holding armory. The danger of this is if you're not holding armory, then you can be easily controlled in CCTV. That's the big risk that ENCE is taking right now. They've put more emphasis down in the site, which leads me to believe that they're going for more of a fallback strategy, where they will fall off CCTV. Many teams, the way they like to set up this site is no fallback, no falling off CCTV. You hold it, it is the bomb site. If you lose it, you lose the round. But that wouldn't be the case considering there's no armory hold here from ENCE. They will seize the opportunity to fall back once they feel too pressured. Gomfi, the first death here. Spark, nice shot there through the window. And speaking of pressure, it's already starting to mount for ENCE. They're feeling it. Just inside of CCTV, Aprox will get the second kill onto Uno, and Shate falls back with just a sliver of health. Boonsy will refrag onto Aprox through the drop down, but the damage is really done at this point. I mean, Vitality have control, and they've got a significant HP advantage, as well as plenty of time. This is not the Vitality we're used to seeing. They have really woken up. Shate will take down Brid, evening it out into a 3-on-3, but do I really mean even? No. I mean, look at the HP.
And that's actually a big pick here. The Zofia, before you execute, it really can hamper you if you don't have the utility to chuck into a site, guess where your opponents are just based off the proximity Gizmo trigger. But there's a mirror window that would give information for ENCE. Unfortunately, there's nobody around here to watch it. Boonsy's all the way on the opposite end, and you see Zephyr is right above him. So Spark is just moving in. Wilkie is just sitting in the back here of the stock room. And Spark is still looking through the holes, trying to find an angle on any one of the defenders, and that's why you see that ENCE have pretty much evac'd the site itself. Zephyr rotating in as Vitality kind of taking their time here. Flashes will get thrown into the site, and Wilkie just still watching the hatch. That drop angle is very difficult to find, and smoke canister will be thrown in. That'll give info on Boonsy's position, but it's not the end of the world. Now they spot the diffuser being put down. Spark will find one, but Wilkie will refrag. Shotgun in hand as Boonsy will come in. He's trying to find the angle. Wilkie will put one in, and he's going to be down on the floor. Smoke canister thrown out, and Boonsy will have to clutch this on his own, unfortunately. And there's, you know what, Spark upstairs. It's not an easy one unless he can put Wilkie back up. They have around 20 seconds to make this one happen. By the time they reset, they'll have to walk up and maybe drop down from behind. They find the kill, and that's the drop that they needed. Can they get the second one? It's all about timing. They can start the diffuser right now. And then they can delay on the outside. Wilkie will set himself up for the diffuser. Boonsy reloading. Can he make this one happen? Damage done to the thermite as shotgun is in hand. He knows that there's not much help.
Oh!
And there you go. They clutch it. Wilkie, all he needed was time. And ENCE will take round number 3 to put all 3 up on the board.
What a clutch there from Wilkie and Boonsy. Incredible.
They take their time. This is absolutely insane teamwork that we're seeing here.
Yeah, beautiful play there between those two players. And you got to commend Boonsy specifically for not only staying alive, picking up his teammate, but doing it in less than, he had so little time. That diffuse plant went down the second he decided to try and pick up his teammate. The castle barricade in his way, and still he committed. Usually you would say, if they're going to commit to that play, they're just going to run out of time. But he managed to make it work somehow. Very impressive for ENCE, and they're up 3-0 now. They want this. It's clear as day. Vitality has come so close. All 3 of these rounds, they've nearly won it out, but they've not been able to get past ENCE and their incredible clutch potential. Now, Uno doesn't even have a kill, and they're still winning. Vitality struggling here, and they will have to attack onto ventilation once more. Since ENCE has been successful on each and every one of their bomb sites, we go back to the very first defended bomb site from ENCE, and it was a pretty close one, but it was still a win for ENCE last time they were here. Big part of it was that vertical play, not ideal the way that ENCE set themselves up, but when it came down to the anchors, they made it work.
5 seconds to insert.
They did indeed. So now ENCE will have a 3rd one on the board. Remember, all they need is just this win. 3 more rounds separate ENCE from a Pro League spot. A spot they have been working towards ever since the end of Season 7. It's been a while, it's been since around April of this year, and well, 6 months later, they're preparing for potential comeback into Pro League. Will it be the case? We'll see. Only time will tell. Bride on the drone, gathering information for Vitality, who are in the back foot here. Again, their defense does not have a clash available, and if Map3 is anything to look back on, it really was a linchpin for the team. Mirror window will be rendered useless, to some extent at least, by the wall open next to it. And they can push up. Shate is just, you said it before, balls of steel, and he's going to still be alive and set himself up, at least for now, by the half wall.
A little bit safer this time around. They've established the lead, and all ENCE wants to do at this point is keep it. They're defending the bottom floor, so they don't actually need to be aggressive on the mirror window and force it out. Really the right call from Shate to be a little bit safer now. Ooh, Gomfi exposing himself there. Almost losing his head, but not quite. It's actually going to eat some damage in the exchange. Very slow here from Vitality. They're looking for the angles onto these armory roamers, but the thing is, they're roamers. They can fall back whenever they want, and the retreat will be called eventually. And if Vitality doesn't, push it a little bit here, they are going to lose all opportunity they would have had otherwise to kill these players. Shate will get the first kill of the round. Zafir eliminated.
Yeah, no Hibana. That's, of course, one of your 2 hard breachers, so there's still potential. But Shate will run into CCTV and hold in from there as he destroys drones that were left at the end. Bride walking into goo mines.
Shate is just trying to run Vitality on a wild goose chase. He doesn't necessarily need to do anything other than stay alive in his position.
Yeah, the site is downstairs, so all you need to do is just waste time, and then you can rotate from the opposite end. There you go, he's still in. C4 thrown out. Won't connect with anyone, but look at the time. There's not a ton here left for Vitality. And yeah, sure, might be a lot for them, but Shate can pounce here and find 1 and maybe even 2 as they walk in. No, Shate will get shot down. Spark will turn into 4v4.
That was a mistake of Shate's teammates. I'll talk about that later. Gomfi takes down a Prox, so still advantage to ENCE. Good gas canister placement here from Boonsy. And so little time left for Vitality. This is shades of the old Vitality. This is what we don't want to see from them. They're putting it in a really bad spot. They're going to have to plant on the last couple seconds of this round. Rafael flashes right to cover the immediate, but there's nobody there. Gomfi able to frag out onto the thermite as he attempts to vault in. And there's no time for the attackers to pick up the diffuser and plant. They'll simply be fragged out and shut out and take the round. And that was a beautiful hold there. Not only at the top floor, but the middle floor, or the bottom floor, pardon.
Yep. The instant that diffuser was down on the window, there wasn't much to be done. You know, the fact that the mirror of Shate was able to survive for so long on the top floor before being eliminated meant that, again, Vitality were able to do much once they were allowed to enter the site. And by then, there were just so many players from ENCE that are just waiting and holding angles that the entire fight was perfectly telegraphed and shut down.
Speaking of Shate upstairs, that could have been tremendously more successful. You saw he was playing passive. Question is, why was he playing passive? Answer, he had a Valkyrie camera on the other side of CCTV. He was expecting one of his teammates to be on that camera calling out for him. But it wasn't the case. Nobody was on the camera. Now, maybe it was Thatcher EMP'd and we just didn't see it, but I don't think it was. It didn't look like it was a buzzing. It makes a pretty loud noise when it does, and I don't remember hearing it. So that right there is a little bit of an oversight from Shate's teammates. He probably could have fragged out inside of CCTV, done a lot more damage there. All said, they still won the round and still has a 4-0 lead, and it doesn't really matter, I suppose, in the long run. Shate did his job, and then some. It just could have been a little bit better. Now,
a little bit better once you're trailing 4-0 on map 3 with potential relegation in the Challenger League. That's not that doesn't leave you with a lot of wiggle room now, does it? ENCE are looking to do the same onto Vitality as Vitality had done onto them in our previous map. You see an olden days style of mirror window being set up in CCTV. Look all the way down the fountain. Another one as well, holding the opposite angle from the armory with a half soft wall next to it. So a lot of potential peak from ENCE. So if they want to still continue with this aggressive play, this setup works perfectly for said strategy. It's not your typical way of doing it, but again, the plan is peak them when they're not waiting for us. When they're not expecting it, pounce and take the kill.
Brid looking for the angle into CCTV there. A soft wall that gives you some good opportunity, and there is somebody playing inside a cafeteria. I believe that's Gomfy. Very dangerous position. He's actually by CCTV. It was Uno who is rotated to support his two CCTV comrades. Again, this is a very dangerous position for ENCE to be playing, but they've got the Mira accessible, so why not, I suppose? The 75% hold is definitely viable, just not as often played as it used to be. But with no Twitch, I guess it doesn't really matter. Spark eliminating Uno, so good start for Vitality. But we've seen this before. We've seen Wilkie, I believe it was, be the first one to die inside of CCTV, or somebody, at least, in previous rounds, and still, Vitality have been unable to shut out these rounds. A nice refrag from Gomfy, beautiful angle there onto the head of Spark. Very clean kill, and he's looking for more. Is coming from Zephyr to try and disrupt the mirror window, and it will be successful. Gomfy, though, does frag out again, takes down Brid. A Prox will refrag right after, though. Shate able to fall back, and it's a 3 versus 3.
So much work has already been done by the Jaeger. Even him dying there. He killed the Zofia and the Thatcher. That's so much. Yeah, sure, you have the support of the Mira. Maybe should have been closer up and helping you. But the amount of damage that's already been done is absolutely insane here for ENCE, leaving brittle operators on the Vitality side. Of course, they still have the frag power of both Abhux and Zephyr. But Wilkie will lose the side of the wall here, and will he choose to get aggressive? He's looking for it, but he has to watch out. No, there we go. He has to watch out from the opposite end, and unfortunately, he burns the C4 that was thrown into the bandit wire there, just because he was expecting his opponents to rush into him. And you're very scared in that situation. Abhux finds the kill to turn it into a 2v2, flashes in from Rafal to burn any utility still set inside of the armory, whatever is left of that armory wall. Rafal moving back into the hallway as Bunsi will set up his gas canister. And yet again, Vitality running low on time. Abhux will try to run in from the opposite end as Vitality will try to save the day, but he gets fragged out. Abhux going down, and Wilkie for the final one on Rafal. ENCE 5-0 on the first half of defense, and all they need is one round. One round, and you're in the money, you're in Pro League.
They fought so hard for this moment. It's not over yet, but it's certainly close. This could very well be the last 3 minutes and 20 seconds of this match. And Vitality, ever the brave, will attempt a bathroom teller's defense as their final site. Potentially.
Yeah, and what a site here. It's definitely one that Vitality were pioneering.
Certainly. I mean, I'm not going to say that they're not good at the site. It's just, why? Is my question.
I mean, it's 5-0.
When the stakes are so high, though, I mean, you could still come back if you really put your work in.
Maybe they have something planned that really ENCE are not expecting on Bathroom Tellers. The problem with Bathroom Tellers is, oh boy.
Oh, you know,
Lion wasn't banned. Yes.
We forgot.
No, what? Vitality didn't use Lion at all.
Ha! I'm so confused. Vitality.
Like, what?
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, our mistake. We didn't even account for the lack of a Vitality or a Lion ban because he had been banned every single map today except for this one, and Vitality didn't touch him.
And on the one site that requires you to really hold the top four, or else the entire thing is lost, the Lion's in play. You move, you're a dead man. And that Lion is gonna make sure that you stick that position for as long as possible.
Dude, I guarantee you, ENCE right now in their comms, they're like, can't believe they didn't play Lion. Like, thank God they didn't play Lion. Did they not notice that Lion wasn't banned? I mean, they were the ones who were banning Lion. Vitality banned Lion 2 maps in a row.
Well, they banned the Maverick to not have to deal with it.
Yeah,
but like, maybe
why
you should
not
probably ban the Lion instead of banning the Maverick? Or as you mentioned, just if you're gonna leave the Lion,
yeah,
he's not obviously like press 4 and you win, but there's a lot that goes into making things easier for the Lion.
ENCE have detected that there is a hole in this defense, specifically in the A bomb site, and they're going to rush straight in. They now have site control, but nobody has the diffuser. Gomfi and Uno have full site, but there's 3 defenders above, and they're trying to deny this vertically. Diffuser down, though. Wilkie will have to retrieve it. The EE1D was successful in what it was supposed to achieve. Spark will get 1 kill from above. Wilkie retrieves the diffuser. Procs onto Gomfi and onto Wilkie, leaving just Uno in a 1 versus 3. The rush, hopefully unsuccessful. Unlikely to see a 6-0 at this point, unless Uno is going to be able to clutch it. But considering the defenders know where he is, it's going to be difficult. He will lose the... Ooh, narrowly actually doesn't, and wins the headshot onto a Prox. What an aim from Uno. Absolutely insane. Raphael is very lit up. 1 bullet will take him down, though Spark is on full HP, and Uno is in the same ballpark as Raphael. So it's not ideal for the Ash. He's got a good chance at it, though. ADS is going to catch his flashbang. So no distinct advantage. If he moves through that front door, he will die, and he does. Raphael locks it down. Diffuser on the floor, Vitality lock it out, and they get their very first round.
It was a nice try from Uno at the end. He had the angle. You know, he tried to pre-fire it, but there's just not enough HP for him to win the duel, obviously there. But yeah, ENCE found that there's a hole for them to exploit, and then they ran with it. Maybe they're onto something here with the Lion. Maybe Lion Do could be together.
Yeah, I why didn't we see this from Vitality, man? I don't get it. I don't get it. That we saw the Dokabi.
Yeah.
But there was no Lion.
We ain't Lion.
I don't get it, man. It just seems like wasted potential, and I can't believe I didn't even see it.
We completely
forgot
about it.
I just, you know, Lion has been banned for so long.
It's like, oh yeah, Lion
it's almost like a foregone conclusion, and when it doesn't happen, you're confused, if anything. Well, Lion in play again for ENCE, but no Dokabi. They've instead opted to bring a double Hard Destructor. Sensible. They've also brought a Twitch. Very sensible. Another thing that Vitality just didn't use that they had access to. Twitch is so good when Mira is left unbanned, especially on border. I'll say it again. I mean, I'm just a little perplexed by the operator selection from Vitality in hindsight.
Yeah, and looking at the way that ENCE were setting up their mirror windows time and time again, so closely on the armory window, or in the armory wall,
Yeah.
the Twitch would have been even more effective than the usual. It's not like...
I mean, especially on the CCTV holds as well.
Yeah, it's not like ENCE were just setting up behind. They had a mirror window in the back, you know, maybe in the small office, a bit more complicated for you to, you know, get your Twitch drone in there. But no, it was just straight up right in front of you. And more often than not, they were running a half reinforced wall, which would have made it even easier for you to pop that mirror. But that aside, between those operators, we had, of course, the Twitch and the Lion in play this round. And Gonfio will be the one to walk right in early on in the passport check. Won't find anybody just yet, but they're looking for the clear in the workshop. And here we go. Apox the first one to fall.
A bomb has been located.
That's a very important early pick. The Legion of all operators. The only thing you could get that's worse is, well, the smoke potentially for the defense. But Legion is an overtime operator. The longer he's alive, the more traps he generates. And he probably only got 2 or 3 down max in this round, so not ideal for him. ENCE now still have all their EE1Ds, all their utility really in play. And this is going to be an interesting attack. They're focusing pretty heavily on the vertical, but vertical from below. They don't have a buck in play. The best that they can hope for is Gomfi using his lifeline to open up some key angles. But if you're attacking the B bomb site, that might be all that you need. Rafael, aware of his situation, will fall back. Smart, considering he's the smoke.
Yeah, Shate walking into the archive. We'll take down the barbed wire if he's there. It's clear from below, so ENCE should be walking into the side. Of course, they use the E1D to freeze their opponents in position. As you see, the smoke that was thrown out from the smoke in the back. Shate will get one on Bride. Finds the headshot, and you see the bandit in the back as well to support the squad. Rafael has used his second gas canister as he finds the head of Shate. Now this will slow down ENCE a bit more. The mirror window here in the fountain doing the damage. The spark will peak and get the shot on Wilkie. And that's why Mira is so strong, and the Twitch of Uno ineffective here. Drone still all the way in the back to give information on the armory and any rotations. Going to be moving in from the eastern stairs as Uno still spraying into the fountain, trying to find a lucky shot. Anybody still inside it, but the Jaeger has moved away. Uno peeking right into the office. Can he find the angle? Yes, he can, and that's the pick on Spark. He'll go down. This is a reminder of a few days ago when Border was played by ENCE, and it turned into a very similar situation. A lot closer in scoreline. Rafael held up close. Uno, the drone will be spotted, but Rafael will not shoot it, as they'll try to use that situation to move in, but no, Gonfi will take him down. Zephyr, last man alive, but the mirror window is being used against him. Will there be a run out? No, he can find the kill on. Oh, the second one as well! Zephyr is ready to clutch this one, but it's all on Bouncy now, who has the diffuser planted. He'll peek out, can use the mirror window, but he might run right into Zephyr. Shit! Zephyr with the 3K and the round 4 fatality as they stay alive in Pro League. No Claymore, no nothing set in the back. And Zephyr, the single man, will make it happen. Diffuser destroyed and Vitality survive for yet another round.
Defender mission successful.
What a clutch. Nothing else to say. Perfectly read the situation. 2 kills, and then the Phantom distracting the final attacker. Beautifully played from Zephyr. Team Vitality showing their teeth there. And it might be a faint hope, but it's still a hope. Only 3 more rounds to get to overtime, and they can make it happen. They will go to customs, though, in their attempt to do so. We have yet to see a successful attacking round from either team. And this might be a reoccurring pattern. We could very well go to overtime based off just defense on Border. But I don't know, man. The last time we saw customs, it was so close. ENCE were the ones defending it, and they barely won. It was off a clutch. And the big difference maker for me right now is that Lion is in play for ENCE, and Vitality did not bring Lion.
I have to say, though, ENCE were playing the Lion very well, but I think the big part of that round was the fact that the Twitch wasn't really used correctly with the drones, and it kind of just gave the advantage for a couple picks to Vitality instead of the utility being put in play, which is why you see Shate now on the Twitch, an avid Twitch player back in the competitive times, as I'll be running the operator this time around. Uno will be put on the Ash this time, so Probably see him more of a clear operator, a bit more aggressive, as Apox will set up his armor panel. So most likely a bigger hold in and around CCTV. You already see the mirror window, which gives you clear line of sight all the way down into the office through the hallway through a fountain. A long line of sight for the defenders to play.
Yep. So, last round, a total recovery from Vitality. Everything going ENCE's way, and it just could not be locked out. This round, it's going to be a clear of the top 4 to start things off. All beginning in the office and archives. ENCE want to establish that vertical control. They've got 2 roamers inside of Armory to deal with, but there's some really unfortunate unreinforced walls here. Oh, an early kill for Uno! Opportunities abundant. Zephyr droned out and taken down. Great coordination from ENCE to allow that to happen. They are viciously tearing into this top floor. The mirror window in CCTV has had a lot of pressure applied to it. You can see Spark is wary to peek anything in that scenario. He just wants to stay alive as long as possible. But in terms of length, I mean, ENCE aren't letting this go too long. The C4 from below will miss. Cornered in the back of Armory, the castle will go down as he's hit by a lifeline. ENCE have full vertical control except for the CCTV, but that might soon change. Spark able to get 1 before he falls back, but there's still so much time. And Rafael has been downed. It's now a 2 versus 4. ENCE look in the driver's seat right now. They still have an EE1D to play with. Gomfi has eaten a little bit of damage, and he's not able to secure the kill on Rafael, who he does not know is down at this moment in time. Luckily for Vitality, he will be attempted to be picked up, and oh no, just barely successful. Gomfi will take down Spark though, so it's an even trade. Brit goes down by the main door. It's all up to Rafael, a beautiful shot, but he can't do it. ENCE go back to Pro League after a wonderful win, 6-2 their favor. And Vitality go down to Challenger League.
It's a heartbreak no matter how you look at it, no matter what happened tonight between all 3 teams, and might I add, that is disgusting headgear with the whole thing set up. That aside, ENCE go back into Pro League, but no matter how you look at it, if you're a Team Empire fan and they didn't make it, you would have been sad at the end of the day. If you're an ENCE fan, which there are many, if they didn't make it in Pro League, you would have been sad at the end of the day. If you're a Vitality fan, which there are many, many, many of them out there, you're sad right now. And there's nothing